And this is where we move on into our last discussion. And Brandon, I got to apologize to a fan base, and that fan base would be the Wisconsin Badgers, because in our picks video last week, I was not too kind to this fan base. I believe the exact phrase I used when saying that Michigan State would win is, I believe I said not a chance. Wisconsin wins this game. And, let's put it this way. There was a huge chance that they won that game. And, yeah, it wasn't pretty. And, yeah, Badger fans, I underestimated you guys for now. Second week this season, the first week being the LSU game. And you guys proved me wrong. So whenever we're picking Wisconsin games, I don't know if I can pick against them. I guess you'll have to see. But what are you seeing from this Badger team that makes them so special?
I don't know.
They're just shot I don't know. They're shocking the world.
Because one of and I'm being honest with you, because I cannot put my finger on anything. And I know that sounds awful. It's like, Brandon, you're the one who's supposed to be able to tell us. I don't know, because this Wisconsin team is an interesting team. And I think that the reason I say that they're such an interesting team is for the fact that look at how they played just 2 weeks ago against Georgia State. It didn't look too good. It didn't look good at all, in fact. But then look at how they come out and they play against this Michigan State Spartan team. Absolutely incredible performance. And I think that a lot of it has been their defense. Because if you look at Hornibrook, he only had 195 yards and a touchdown. They only had 50, I shouldn't say they only had 55 yards on the ground, but their leading rusher, Hogan Bawale, only had 55 yards. Peavy only had 96 yards in receptions, 4 catches for 96 yards. It's his defense. You just held down a Michigan State team to 6 points when they had scored, 36 points the week before against Notre Dame? I get it. It's Notre Dame. They're giving up points to everyone and their mom this year. But I think that's impressive. I think it's the defense for the Wisconsin Badgers. I think what the Badgers are doing right now is exactly what Big Ten football is. Defense. And I think that that's why they are seeing this success that they've seen this season. Look at what they did in week 1. Yes, an LSU team. And the reason I keep saying this is because I feel like I have to say this because everyone's going to come in, well, that's an LSU team that's not very good this year. Yeah, I get it. Okay?
Is that how they sound?
It's exactly how they sound. But I think that yes, LSU may not be that good this year, but guess what? You played a ranked opponent in LSU. You held them to 14 points. You had just enough to win. It's been defense this season for Wisconsin. You take a look at in every single one of their games. Akron, 10 points. Georgia State, they didn't look pretty, but they held them to 17. 6 to Michigan State. I just think that right now for Wisconsin, what is it? It's their defense. Because offense, it's nothing showy. It's nothing spectacular. It's the defense for the Badgers.
I'm glad you brought up defense because I know a little bit ago I said, hey, well, whenever we pick a Wisconsin Badger game, I don't know if I could pick against the Badgers. Guess what, Badgers? You're not going to have a good time this week. Or Ricky doesn't think you are. Because who are you going up against? The Khakis and the Michigan Wolverines. And one of the things, if you guys want to go and check it out on our YouTube channel, I was able to talk to defensive lineman Mo Hurst from the Michigan Wolverines and this new look Michigan team. And when I say that, yeah, you're like, well, Ricky, they still have Jim Harbaugh. Yeah, new defensive coordinator coming in from Boston College, and this defense has looked good. This Michigan team has looked good. A team which is fourth, jumped the Clemson Tigers in our college top 25 this week after beating Penn State 49-10. They're a Michigan Wolverine team that scores 52 points per game. That's about, 22 better than what the Badgers do. They're averaging 468 total yards per game. They're throwing it, they're running it. But I'm glad you said defense, but there is one guy I'm looking at on this defensive side of the ball and kick return side of the ball for Michigan. And I think he's going to be a huge playmaker in this game. That's Jabril Peppers. This kid has come out his junior year, and not only has he had 30 tackles thus far in just 4 games. He had 45 all of last year, folks, and that was 12 games. He's had 30 tackles, and 22 of them are solo. That is just astonishing. 7.5 tackles for loss. This kid, this kind of like linebacker, defensive back kind of hybrid, this star kind of defensive position guy, he's going to be key for this team. And not only can he kill you on defense, he'll kill you in the return game. And that's exactly where he killed Penn State, where he went and scored a touchdown on them. And oh, wait, not just defense and special teams, he'll even play offense for you. He can do that too, where he had 24 rushing yards? He averaged 12 yards on attempt last week against Penn State. He is going to be a big key. And I don't know if this Badger team can stop him. I don't know if they can. They'll have to prove me wrong again. Maybe third time's a charm. Maybe I'll be right this time.
I think that this is going to be a huge game for both teams. Michigan has shown that they are a very good team, and I think that clearly Wisconsin has also showed that they are a very good team this year as well. One thing that I'm interested in seeing is you and Ricky, I know you remember. Mm-hmm. It was against Colorado that Michigan got off to a very slow start. I think they were down 21-0 or
watching
21-3
that game
or something like
with
that.
Dave and Rankin.
It wasn't good.
No.
So I think that if the Wisconsin defense can come in and slow down this Michigan Wolverine offense early and maybe have a little bit of offense going, I think that Wisconsin could find a way to pull the upset.
That's the one thing I will say with the Badgers. You look at their points scored from their opponents, 14, 10, 17, and 6. I think this is the one where if you're going to beat Michigan, I think you're going to have to score a ton of points. And, I mean, can the Badgers do it? Yeah, they've scored 54, but that was against Akron. Yeah, you're like, oh, well, Ricky, they just scored 30 against Michigan State. Yeah, but we didn't see a shootout. That was pretty much a Michigan State team that didn't really... They didn't really score. They didn't really get anything going on offense. And, I mean, the good thing for Wisconsin coming into this game is the quarterback for the Michigan Wolverines. This is his first year with the team where you got Spates. This is his first year where I believe he's the transfer that they got from Houston. And this is something where if they can make him feel just like Tyler O'Connor last week, get to pressure, get on him, they can have a chance in this game. I'm not going to say I'm not going to sit here and go not a chance like I did last year. Patty Kane has left the building. He's going to start his preseason games tomorrow. That's why he had to get on out of here, get to the UC. I like the Wolverines in this one, and if they are able to get past Wilton Spate, I should say, pardon me, if they can get past Wilton, next week will be it'll be a tougher opponent at quarterback, because who did they got next week? They got J.T. Barrett in the OSU Buckeyes. So, I mean, Wisconsin kind of proved me wrong last week. I don't think they proved me wrong this week, but it's going to be they got to win some of these games so that they can get back. The only good thing about this week and next week, Michigan and Ohio State not in their side of the conference. So they can maybe lose one of these games and still get a chance to play for that Big Ten title game. Before we close up shop, before we get to Swanee's final thoughts, Brandon, is there anything we missed talking about this Wisconsin-Michigan game?
I don't think so. I think we're going to see a very hard-nosed contest. I think that it's going to be a really good game. I'd like to think that it's going to be a good game, and hopefully it's going to be one of those Big Ten matchups that people will be looking at it, years from now going, man, that was one of the best ones.
Well, and you guys know what time it is before we close up shop. We do it every single week here on the Primetime Podcast. Swanee, I'm turning it over to you. Let's go with Swanee's final thoughts to end the show.
All right, folks. So my final thoughts today, on Monday night, we had a debate on TV. Donald J. Trump, Hillary Clinton. And folks, whichever way you lean, I think that we can all agree that in a debate, yes, it's really going to be tough. A debate is a debate. People are probably going to disagree. That's why they're debating. One person's on one side, one person's on the other. But there's respect. There's got to be respect involved. That's what I always learned in school, especially with anything debate-wise, with anything. When you're arguing, when you're in a discussion, you don't win by being the loudest. You win by having the facts. You win by being the most respectful. One thing last night was there was a lot of interruption from one side. And I think that what we need to see for a country that needs to get to a better spot, get to a better place financially, get to a better place where more people have jobs, more people have opportunity, and this racial divide can end. People need to be able to talk about their platform. People need to be able to say more than just what you're going to do for business. Now, I know some people may say, Brandon, you sound a little biased on one side. No, I'm just trying to say when someone is asked a question, answer the question, explain your answer, and don't talk in circles. You may think that the American people are stupid. We're not as dumb as you might think. So moving forward, next debate, I hope that we have a little bit more facts and a little less immaturity.
You know what I say, Brandon? Fuck it. Widmer Swanson, 16. Let's do it. Go to the boots. Write in Widmer Swanson, 16. Let's make it. Or Swanson Widmer. Whatever. I'll let you be the vice. I'll let you be the vice. I'll let you be the presidente if you want to. Let's make it happen. I think we could do a better job than the two that we had. Because the one thing, and this is just my little thought, is I just watched the debate last night, the little bit I did, and I'm thinking, man, South Park kind of hit it right out of the park. They hit it right out of the park with their first episode, because basically it's a giant douche and a turd sandwich up there. But that's going to do it for the PTP this week, the Primetime Podcast. Let us know what you think of anything we talked about on today's show. Let us know what you think of Swanee's final thoughts talking about the debate this week. Hit us up on Twitter. Those are down in the description. You can find us on Patreon as well, patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast. You might be sitting there going, Ricky, I'm not seeing your wonderful face. I want to see that wonderful mug of yours. You want to see that wonderful mug. You got to help us out a little bit so that we can do the cool stuff for you, because I would love, trust me, I would love to do the cool stuff for you. But thank you guys for checking out this podcast. I hope you had a good time. And as always, have a good day, everybody.
Thank you for listening to this MVP podcast. Follow us on Twitter @MostValuablePod for more great podcasts.